can't hear you, John, if you're talking. Hi, Chrissy. Neil.
Here he comes.
On what? Because why?
No, I'm bad.
Oh, it's a good round for me to miss then, isn't it?
I don't know what I'm doing. I just can't get anywhere in it. I feel like I'm pushing the car to like the limit and it's doing a 21 0. Any time I do go for it, I go off. So what am I supposed to do?
It'll come right for you in the race, I'm sure.
Absolutely rushed.
You, have you responded to my announcement, Jack?
Oh, the announcement. Where is it? I can't remember. Oh, is it? Oh, no.
Members' announcement.
Oh! I didn't notice that. Those are tracks.
So,
Macau.
so just I've swapped out Zhuzhou for Shanghai because Zhuzhou only has 18 grid slots, and I'm going to test Macau, and if it's bad, we'll swap out probably.
Zhuhai is a good Chinese track.
What is Halem Bend? Is that like a V8 supercar track?
It's yeah, it's a Australian V8 track.
I've literally heard every other line. I must have about 20 corrections to tell what.
Scoring away at the steering wheel.
Honestly.
I'm correcting my video settings in a minute. Remind you all turn one. No, I was using that camera app and I was like driving about and it was just stuttering all over the place. I was just like, great. And then Scott watched me absolutely bin it out the back, so that must have been a laugh for him.
Oh no, I did. I literally did the same thing as you, like the lap before, like 30 seconds before you did.
Tom's done a fast lap. I don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, good, isn't it? He's done a lot of laps though. Have you seen?
He has done a lot, yeah.
He's done 200 laps.
I don't know how people find the time to do that. That's a bit mental.
He's 14.
That's Jesus, 75 FPS in the pit lane is diabolical. Ugh.
Oh come on, I'm on a good lap for once.
For once.
That's me done for tonight. I've done a 20 and not a very good 20, but it's... Oh, and straight. Oh, yep.
Made my game look like iRacing and it's running worse somehow. That's incredible.
What the heck?
99.
What's the resource use today?
Then I've already checked all that, don't you worry.
No, I'm sure you have. Actually,
Yeah.
there's no point in me suggesting anything to you because you probably checked everything.
Top of the car, 20.6. Oh.
The only thing I can think of is that because I've got 4060, I reckon the VRAM is just absolutely ate it.
There's me sat on my i9 2080 Ti's with no problems whatsoever.
I might need to upgrade this old boy. Well, it's not even old. It's just the car's a bit shit. I don't know why I got 4060.
I think the newest PC I own, or mine I think I've got 5, is like 3 years old.
Yeah.
wrong.
But think yourself lucky that you're not working in Marks and Spencer's IT.
What's up there?
I bet that is fun sorting that out.
Do you not know? Do you not know? They were hacked.
I've been so like head down in absolutely nothing lately.
They were hacked about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. All their systems are absolutely screwed. They reckon that it's not going to be back to normal till at least June, end of June. And they're saying that basically it's put a 300 million hit on their profit, trying to correct it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Co-ops have the same thing as well.
yeah,
Yeah, I
co-ops
know-
are the same. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a
Co-op.
data breach.
Yeah, I know co-op is online, it's not that much expensive. Bloody hell, that's...
It was they got in using some personal data from a number of staff that they managed to get.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Is it like a bunch of like 14 backwards?
Yeah, apparently teenagers, yeah.
Bunch of English teenagers apparently, probably funded by the Russians.
Probably.
I made find out that it was AI driven as well.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Do this by
I promise I didn't need to steal the 300 million footage.
company cut half an hour stop at Christmas, which was a fun thing for the play.
No! Nice person. Ollie, I'll send you a setup.
I need any help I can get.
It's good. Best believe it's alright.
Are you being sarcastic? Are you being
No, I'm actually being real. It's actually good. Because
Real?
I was a moron on listening in the setup.
Well, like,
I just found it. I think you should be because I would like to settle up on my life.
Oh, let's go off.
I'm very good. My last one helped with it. You can see how much tractor to it. Get your lapping gear on there. I'm gonna rejoin again and load my other settings because the game looks so much better and I actually run better. How did Las Vegas run better? This is... doesn't make sense.
Well, I had some fun with those bloody touring cars today trying to. So I took the LMS Audi, and tried to get that to the performance level of the BM. Just couldn't get it anywhere near. And then I was chatting away to Andy about my frustrations. He said, "You do know that FSR, they make the BMW, do an Audi S3 as well, touring car." I was like, "What?" It's the older, it's the older one. It's 2014.
Alright.
So you'll see on the message I put in the members lounge, there's the time on there that I did it in 2014. So I just ripped all of the physics off that 2014 and put it on the LMS. Got that very good. But I'd spent 4 or 5 hours trying to get the LMS to the BMW before this happened, and then it took me half an hour to swap the physics over. I did a few laps and went, yeah, that works. Wasted. Actually, it's not waste, it's a lesson learned.
I figured out why my headset wasn't charging as well. The cable that I use, you know the USB-C cables have like they have like little clips on the outer edges that actually hold the cable. Yeah, they don't do me. So I put it in and then it sort of like come out a little bit and I wouldn't notice.
So yeah.
So it was just like getting
I
the
have that.
smallest amount.
Yeah, I have that problem with my watch charger. It keeps popping out just very slightly. You would look at it and you wouldn't think it's popped out. But you have to push the bloody thing out.
Yeah, it's a big crap. It's actually mental. I'm getting like 80 FPS in the pit lane now, and the graphics look so much better. Unreal.
Was the new setup the same name as the old setup?
Yes.
Oh, it's faster.
There it is. That's what I sent it you. By the way, Ollie, I sent you a setup, and it's actually slow.
Oh. Oh no. I wasn't improving throughout the first sector.
It's definitely faster, just believe.
Better than Major.
Send it to you.
Yeah.
You want it?
No. Alright, that wouldn't go so.
Do you want some?
Do you want some?
I'll give it you.
Come on in. Do you want some?
What a hero. It's been crazy tonight. Watching the football.
Watching the footy. No. Yeah, well, he's here, Landy's watching it. Dan's not well either, and Lee's working the first 3 rounds, so we won't see him till round.
Good evening.
That's Scott. Where's Jack? Hello, Jack. Do you like this track better?
Yeah, I actually like this
I love it. I sent Jack a message saying, "Get racing, you wuss," last week, and he didn't even reply to it. I was like, yes. Oh dear. Yep, that hit anyway.
one. Yeah, I watched the stream and I was like, I'm quite glad I've not done it actually.
Yes, did the right stream, didn't they?
Yeah, we had a few sound issues, but we have those resolved. We've done a lot of testing the last few days. So any issues tonight are just experience rather than problems. Should be good. And we've got Scott Woodward commentating tonight, first time. Anyone in here not responded to my members announcement? If you haven't, could you go and respond to it?
Or else.
Well, that's your words, not mine. Armour of peace and love.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
That's right.
They're seething now. Their teeth gritting. You little bugger.
He's done it again.
He's done it again.
Am I right? Just checking. We can just do soft or soft if we want tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. Are we
I was
in?
not aware of this last week and used the medium.
Are we in? Are we in practice? No, we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not in. It's not in the official practice. I'll have to forward it.
You sure?
It's fine.
I don't think so.
It's got 21
It
minutes left.
restarted at 6 o'clock.
21 minutes. Oh, it did. Right. Okay. Sorry. My mistake. My mistake. Do.
Oh, you're joking. Oh. God. What was up? It's a massive slide before the back straight. Phew.
Ouch.
It was like one of those really annoying ones, you know, it's just like, it's really long, but it's not actually that bad. And it just keeps sliding, you know,
Just keeps every second, every little thing as it gets just time. It's all just time. All just time.
It's just horrendous. It's just because it's like the TC's got it off as well. So you're trying to like power out of it, and the TC's going off.
Honestly, you jinxed it on my lap. You little bugger.
It happens.
Yeah, well, I just went on the corner, and then as you said, you know, like little TC slide, it gave me a TC slide. Like you.
He's done it again.
Right, I don't know.
Oh, Max Verstappen has changed his Twitch like name on the Team Red Light into Fans Home.
What a guy. What a man. No, the gravel.
Oh, bloody track limit. I hate Graham Hill Bend. Oh, I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
In real life as well.
It's the only place I've ever had a proper, like, track limits when I thought I wasn't. I've had track limits when I've been, like, sort of well off the first corner at Silverstone, but
Yeah,
there, I was like, oh, there I got caught.
yeah. It's like one of the, like this now, like, I felt like it was a perfect turning, and the next minute, go straight, and you're like, oh, thank you. All the part was stuck so much to me.
So sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same.
Okay.
Please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies. You wanted my demise, now you're
I'm definitely going to crash tonight because I've got Spurs Man United on the iPad next to me on the computer.
Oh, it's a ridiculous offset. Cheating, definitely. Aliens.
Let's have you in the pits, guys. Let's do this quick. Get you back out. Thomas isn't in here. Alex in the pits, please, mate. Thank you.
300 kilogram penalty.
Okay. Going to keep this fairly short and sweet. Who's that's just joined?
Evening.
Miss Laramie.
Ah,
Just.
Okay, we'll keep this fairly short and sweet, as we've raced here many times before. Just with regards to exiting the pits, obviously bear in mind that you are coming out onto the one of the fastest corners on the circuit. So make sure that you are careful with other drivers when you're looking on the track map on your screen and you are giving way. Do not cross the solid white line. A little question earlier, I think Alex mentioned something, just to remind you, you have to pit stop in this championship, but you do not have to change compound. So you can go soft, medium, whatever the combination is that you want to do. You can do soft, medium, soft, whatever. But you don't have to run 2 compounds, but you do have to pit, and in that pit stop you either have to add fuel or change tyres. If you don't do either of those, you'll get a 30-second penalty at the end. So please make sure that you're coming into the pits correctly and leaving the pits correctly within the solid white line. Other than that, track limits are pretty good here. There's some Kunos tracks, so there's nothing really to talk about with regards to that. Just at the start of the race, just be careful. Obviously, you're going into a fast right-hander and then into a hairpin. Lots of cars, cold brakes, tyres under grip as well. So just be mindful of that, if you don't mind. Yay!
Bingo.
Other than that, make sure you're on push to talk on mute during qualifying race 1 and race 2. We'll interview first, second and third from quali, race 1 and race 2. When you come into when I drag you into the live broadcast box, just keep quiet, will you, while you're in there, please, until you're obviously spoken to, just to make sure that we're not actually live when you're brought into the box. Any questions for me? Nope. Okay, crack on. Cheers, guys. Thomas and Catherine, you need to come into the voice channel earlier because you came in halfway through the briefing there. If you do that next week, I'll have to give you a penalty, guys. So please make sure you're in the voice box well before 2:15. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be a good round, he says.
Oh!
See you already.
What about this track is I find every time I go in the server and practice, I find a different place to spin. Has anyone else found that? It's like, I've not spot that before.
Yeah, Scott watched me do my other one.
Yeah, that was nice actually. Yeah,
It was good there, wasn't it?
yeah, I nearly followed you, but no. I was mindful.
I think I spun most places around here, to be fair.
I think this is the most I've been off in practice. I just genuinely have not been on the track.
I'll bring back front wheel drive.
I bet you're looking forward to that front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I might choose rear wheel drive and just put it all I just don't like my foot automatically. As soon as I get a side on, my foot automatically goes down and it just doesn't work.
Too much curb that time.
Yeah, I saw that.
I believe in love, I believe in honesty. Does that sound like something you'd be into?
Yes.
I believe the truth can be reality. Will you roll with that? 'Cause I want you to. I'm stuck in trying to find a way to make it easier to say that there's just one thing on my mind. And I think it's time for you to realize I want you all to myself.
So what, Chris? That was a big T-bone I gave you at the bottom of the paddock. wasn't it?
Oh jeez. I was like, that's a bit of a forewarning of things to come, isn't it? I just, as soon as I dropped it, I was like, oh no, middle of the track. Free for me.
I just saw smoke. And that was it. Typical racing driver, I kept my foot absolutely planted.
Yep.
And then the next bit, just a little black and gold streak of pig.
Little turds put parked on the track. That was me.
Burned me once or twice, I expect them. I just wanna know what your truth is.
Oh, you
Will
mother.
you be the one to break me out of this? I want you all to myself. Don't wanna share you with nobody else. So give me something to believe. Will you promise me? Will you promise me? So give me something to believe. Will you promise me? Will you promise me?
Oh my god, that really put me off. There's like a brake board going into the left-hander before you come out of the back section. In the middle of the circuit.
It's not gonna happen. They've lost too much.
I think if I get to the end of Collie without hitting the 4 walls,
If I get through Collie with all my doors on the line, can you open the door in this house?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, please. Just keep opening and closing it.
Can't
Well,
believe
it
that's
seems
third
like-
fastest. Bloody hell.
Have you seen the timetable for Alton yet, mate?
yeah,
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it?
that's right. I assume you're not doing the ultimate race.
Nah. I am Paul.
I'm in the Friday. No screwing here as well.
Yeah, I know. And not too early of a qualifying, so it's nice.
No.
Got Neil's Sim PC. Ooh,
What? Oh, hello. What? 3 minutes early?
good luck, one and all.
I guess.
Going in then.
Hey.
Oh,
Right.
good luck, everyone.
Right.
Right.
Let's
Now
just
we-
wait. Let's just wait.
Now
a
he's
couple of
just
minutes.
teasing. Well, which
Yeah.
one? At what point do we know?
I'll check the stream.
Might have been pressed by accident.
Quite possibly. All the servers are pooing its
I,
parts.
I think just go for it.
30 seconds next. Good luck, boys.
again. I've been nothing but a girl who really should be nothing less. Don't mess up, and don't you tell us so how you actually feel. If you do, then they'll cut you right at the heel, and it hurts. No one can save you. It's all on your mind to change too. And baby, you can really try if you climb your way up. Do it on your own and you shit out of luck. Nobody will help if you're flying too close to the sun. Cause you're gonna get burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. Burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. Cause you're gonna get burned. They say you should never roll all the dice without a hand. It's make or break when you never did stand a chance. Don't mess up, don't you tell us so how you actually feel. If you do, then they'll cut you right at the heel, and it hurts. No one can save you. It's all on your mind to change too. And baby, you can really try if you climb your way up. Do it on your own and you shit out of luck. Nobody will help if you're flying too close to the sun. Cause you're gonna get burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. Burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned.
That was the second off my fastest lap, but like just things kept on getting in the way. Let's have a look. Yes, I did come across a synchronising team car bug spin in the last couple of corners.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Andy. Oh, there's Scott.
I thought you could I dropped my talent. It's all gone. Well, Chris, dive to the right.
Oh yeah.
Can't be bothered to cause a crash.
The apex of one of the scariest corners in UK motorsport.
Somehow Andy, I ended up with more ballast than Chris. It was the driver ranking.
Is that really?
Chris is higher up the driver ranking than I am.
Maybe Rich just misread something.
You're just not quite car bug. That's what it is.
Yeah. Not a car.
You haven't paid Rich enough money.
Yeah. It's like with the issue. After the many years I've been racing, it might have happened.
Yeah. Your newest one. Yeah.
Any different?
A lot more lively, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely takes the curve slightly better. I'm gonna just try on this first one. I'm gonna adapt the normal one and your one that you just sent me, and just see if I can get like a middle ground. I don't want it to be as lively as what it was, but I want it to be able to take the curve. So I think you know, that did feel. I could have done a 7, I reckon, but I just kept fluffing it at and the stops on the setup, the original setup was pretty decent. So. Oh, excuse me.
Well, by the way, Daniel, you were hot mic in quad.
I guess I could hear a Ford in the background, a Porsche in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was on mute there. I thought it was...
No, it's all. I just thought you know, mate.
I've got anywhere near doing a stint without spinning or crashing.
Nope.
So
Now imagine it with loads of cars around you, mate. Fun times.
I like the fact we can just stint as 2 laps.
Just be mindful, guys, into turn 1, please.
Cold tyres, cold brakes.
Just be mindful. Yep, that's the one. Cold gravel as well. Warm up the gravel. Ooh, this. Oh, I'm on. Jack, we're on the inside as well.
Never
You haven't got to worry about me though, so I'll hold everyone else up. And so will Andy probably. As in like off the start.
Yeah.
The start's gonna be. Oh, and you're on the inside as well. Oh, you're in the divot. That's not gonna be fun.
good.
Huh?
Yeah, good luck
Back
one and
on.
all.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Uh,
guys. Good luck, good luck, good luck.
How much fun was that? Not.
Mate, my rear left was on fire from halfway through.
Yep. I think it was up to 30 psi there.
Oh mate, every time I turned right, it was like, whoop, here we go.
Yep. I got target vision in the fucking first corner, followed Thomas into the bloody.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought, well, I'll just give you some room. And I was like, oh, he's in the gravel.
I was like, yeah, oh, he's going to do Scott's giving me enough room. Brilliant, lovely. I can count on that. And I'm in the gravel. Why have I done that? Vision just. Yeah. C'est la vie. But I got back to 5th. That's where I started, so I can't complain.
Absolutely. I've won 3 times, still come 4th where I started, so I'm happy to do that as well.
Yeah, I thought I might have Andy because I was catching Andy. I was within about 3 seconds. Ooh, I shouldn't be on the pit straight, should I?
I don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about 3 seconds behind. I was like, alright, I'm catching nicely. Looped at Graham Hill Bend. You turn it. Yes.
I need to change it. I need to try and probably change the camera, I think.
I spun 4 times, but every time was such a big one. It took me about 30 seconds to get back on the track.
If you're gonna do it, you got to do it in style.
You don't have small spins here, mate.
No, twice was up that like left-hander that slightly goes uphill. You know where that bump is.
Onto the back straight.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I hit the inside curve.
Yep.
And sent me straight into the barriers. I was like, oh, nice. And then one time I hit the outside curve there while I was braking, and I just went straight on.
Yeah, because I was catching you to lap you, come round. I was like, yep, nope, looped it.
Yeah, I see that in my rearview mirror.
I thought this would be a nice straight, perfect time to get past. Brilliant, happy days. Nah.
Because I was about to move over to the right and just let you through.
Yep.
And then
We're all lined up.
Well,
We're all good.
no.
No. Done a magic trick. Just throw it on the
Yeah, because I was like, save wasting your time through the bend of it, I'll just let you through on straight. And then I kind of let off, and then I looked in my mirror and I was like,
Ah, no, he's nowhere to be seen. He's Houdini. I appreciate it, mate, but no, it's all my own making.
not the best.
I was just confused with just lowering the value on canvas. Is it when you're on the minus, is lowered it making it a lower? That's what I would get caught. I should have got. Listen, got
So, if you look at the car status on the right,
yeah.
you can see what it actually does. So, if you increase the negative value, you increase the camber.
If I want to lower the temperatures, I want to go like a lower minus figure, no?
So you want to get you want to stand it up more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want it to be closer to 0.
Close to 0, yeah. That's it, yeah. She was just getting a little bit hot. I'm going to go for a ballsy setup, I think, and just change it over to it.
You got a decent start though, mate. I'm not going to say you didn't completely die. Let's do that
I
right.
quadruple kicked the clutch.
I just imagine you sitting in Europe just stabbing at the clip.
I was like stamping on the floor. I was like, let go.
Your rig isn't upstairs by any chance, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Angry missus.
Yeah.
This is where we all think, yeah, we're going to change a load of stuff to make it better, and it's going to be 100 times worse.
Oh, 100%. It's just trial and error. I still haven't quite. I said to Andy, he's given me a few quite good setups, but I still don't feel like 100% at it. I'm still a little bit dubious turning into the corners.
It's alright, you got to feel for Mr. Laramie, he's got stuff with my setups.
See, Andy loves understeer and I can't stand it. So it's trying to dial it out. Excuse me.
It's one of those races that has a hallmark of you walking the pub halfway through.
Yeah, I got the feeling of that, mate. I got the suspicion that you may be a beverage or two down. So.
Yeah. I think I did want to help you around it all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're on tyres and it's
It's a bit sketchy on that rear left, isn't it, Andy?
isn't it a bit? Blimey.
Oh. Yeah. I've just changed a little bit on it to try see if it makes any difference, but I'm going for a pneumatic setup this time.
It's when you try and change the tyre pressures for the next pit stop whilst you're trying to drive on the track.
Oh no, that was a nightmare.
How does this work? Oh, I was just wondering where all the cars were. But okay.
Oh, I even put my indicator on, lifted,
Yeah,
you go by, because I thought I'm not going to fight you because in half a lap you'll be in the gravel, and you were.
I was. I thought what's happened to John is the easiest part I've ever done against John. What's happened?
Looped it. And then you wasted it. Disgrace.
Problem is the tyres just once you spin them up, they get so hot.
Oh yeah. You read that message, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was catching bloody Ollie like 1 second a lap, over 1 second a lap. And
Yeah, because he was on media.
he was on it. I thought I was sure.
You really smocked it coming out of the 30s, isn't it, out the left-hander?
Yeah.
You the last couple of laps,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have overtaken you.
I was catching you first before the pits, Andy. I thought
Yes.
I'll catch it, and then Graham Hill Ben struck. I was like,
Yes, I saw
all that
you were
work.
about 3 seconds back, I think, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you were not 3
I was
seconds
like,
back.
I can see this. I've got potential here. Nah. Let's just cook your tyres in one go.
Go on, mediums, guys.
Yeah.
Best tyres ever used.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if you were on mediums or if you'd like gone super
Put wets
soft
on.
and worn them out. So.
You think I've had no tyres on. They were so bad. We just understeer every corner.
I was like, I can't be Oliver in front of me. I'm catching him. What's that? I can't.
Honestly,
And then I got a bit overexcited and started to push a bit hard, and yeah, tyres tried to bite me after that.
It's a hard life, and every time I was like going across the line when I was like following Ollie, or say following, like he was in front of me, I was like, oh yes, I've been within 4 tenths of him.
honestly, I've never been so like pressured in a race before to get to the end. It felt like I had like a puncture or something. It was so bad. Never
Yeah, I
felt-
tried the mediums in practice, and I was like, yeah, they ain't gonna work.
This is not the track for me.
some more race practice before the next race, I think.
Where's the next one for Valencia?
Yeah, Valencia.
This is it.
I like that stuff.
That's gonna be carnage, I think.
Bridge crash.
First one, yeah, anyone that's sideways across there.
Yeah.
Take a trip in the sea, I think.
This
I can't
one's
believe
probably
it.
going to be
Yeah, I can't believe Rich is thinking of Macau for the touring car. Dear Lord.
I was saying to Jack, isn't that the one with the hairpin where you literally have to like, you don't have
Yes.
enough steering lock?
Yes, you have to
Yeah.
queue. When I watched
Yeah.
when I watched the WEC there, or was it the WEC or World GT or whatever there last year? They was literally stopped, and it was like, no sir, you go first. No, yes sir, you go first. It just, you almost it was getting to the point where almost 3-point turning it around there, and if you crash, Jesus Christ.
I thought to Jack, you don't like Valencia, you wait till, not Valencia, you wait till, you don't like Las Vegas, you wait till you do Macau.
Mate. So Jack, that was Macau is one of the most dangerous crashes. Oh, wait a minute, I'll tell you later. Right, good luck on all.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
You like all?
you